Yo, what's up, guys? How's it going? How's everybody's Saturday today? So today I'm going to talk about how to get more clients slash customers. So I'm actually like figuring this out as I make these videos. Um, and some of this could be wrong. And 5 years from now, if I watch this and then I'm like, oh, I could have done it this way, I could have done it that way. But this is kind of what I'm learning as I go, as I'm becoming and getting better as an entrepreneur. So I figured I'd try to share what I've learned and try to share kind of anything that can help people, even if it's not the best solution because I don't know the best solution. But for me, it's really picking up and starting to work. So this is kind of what I do. Okay. So if you want to get more clients or customers, at the end of the day, all businesses are relatively the same, right? You need supply and you need demand. Okay. So this is just common economics, right? Supply and demand. You got your graph. I don't even remember which one's on the top. Is it the top like this? I have no idea, but it's like this. You know what I'm talking about? So anyways, when you're looking at supply and demand like this, um, wow, that is not, oh, hold on. So when you're looking at supply and demand, every single business has that. Every single business needs both sides of the spectrum, okay? So realistically, if you don't have supply, then you need supply. If you don't have demand, but you have infinite supply, then you need demand, right? The best business is a B2B business where you have almost infinite demand, okay? Because supply is going to be easier to find and get than demand most of the time. So how do you get more clients and customers for what you want? So let's say that you have enough supply, okay? And you need to find demand. So, what's a better way to find demand is to look for people that sell to the same clientele, right? So, if you're making a product for whoever, if you're selling, like, for example, let's say you're running like a dispo company with wholesalers, okay? What's the best way to find more wholesalers? You have to find who sells to wholesalers. Okay, so who sells to wholesalers? You've got TCs, you've got attorneys, right? However, attorneys can't really disclose who they work with, so this might not be an answer. You've got like data companies. So these are different people that you could reach out to and get more wholesalers for. Oh my gosh, the whiteboard's terrible. On my computer, I need like the iPad or something. So these are more people that you could actually reach out to, TCs and data companies, if you wanted more wholesalers, right? Or let's say you need more buyers. You need to find who else sells to buyers, okay? What do buyers do? They go to contractors. So we can go contractors or data companies as well, title companies, right? So these are two examples. So you have to look outside of the box. So many people do the traditional thing, but if you take methods from other businesses and apply them to your business, then you can find ways that are untraditional to get supply or demand. So here you're solving your demand issue, and here you're solving your supply issue. Now you just need to put both of these together, and then you get money, right? So I'll go deeper into this in future videos, but basically, you're getting more money because you have more supply and more demand. And if you have good buyers with infinite demand, then all you need is supply, which supply is usually the harder part in this business specifically, but demand, getting consistent good demand is always going to be your toughest challenge. Um, when you're building a business 90% of the time, I would say. Unless you have just a business that nobody's seen before, something like that, and or you have a small group of buyers where they'll continuously buy forever and they need your product, right? Because then that's almost infinite demand because you're selling to the same group of people. Does that make sense? So this is general. I'm just using the example of real estate wholesaling, but this is general how to find more clients and customers, right? So let's say you're just in a different business. You can apply the same thing to different businesses. So let's say you're running a clothing company. You need the person here that's going to buy the clothes, right? They have the money to buy the clothes. So this would be demand. And then supply is the easiest part because you just find a manufacturer that's willing to make the clothes for you, right? So you need to, usually in most businesses, demand is going to be the harder thing to get because if you're doing a clothing company, you need to figure out exactly for this type of person, what kind of clothes do they like? And you need to have enough people to buy those clothes, if that makes sense. So like, I'm gonna draw a smiley face on this guy. So like you have a manufacturer, they make money by giving you the product to sell. So the manufacturer is not going to be the hardest part to find. It's going to be getting the consistent demand. Because sure, you can make 100K clothes or something, but in reality, are there going to be 100K people that buy it? Or is it one person that's buying, 100 products at once? So you have to think this way and you have to get something to where you have more demand than you do supply. And if in your business you have more demand than you do supply, that is a really healthy, good business to get into because your supply is the least of your worries, right? You can always get more supply, but it's harder to get more demand, if that makes sense. So the closer you can get to a product where people need it, like they physically need it to keep their company alive or keep um, their keep whatever, they need the product or the service, then you can always create more supply to match the demand, if that makes sense. And this just goes back to, just business in general, is if you have a business where you have so much demand that your supply can't match it, then you're literally sitting on a gold mine because you just increase supply and you feed them the demand, whoever this end buyer is in your business, you feed them the demand that they're looking for, the demand that they have, sorry, you feed them the supply um, for the demand that they have. And then your business literally will never fail because you have close to infinite demand, if that makes sense. Um, yeah, so I just wanted to break this down. I don't really think I'm going to go too much deeper into it, but kind of a shorter video. I just wanted to go over this because so many people try to think inside the box, and you can apply this to any business you work in. You can apply it to clothing, you can apply it to real estate, you can apply it to anything. So why not, Because if you have a business where there's unlimited demand, then the supply is a very solvable problem, very quickly solvable problem, if you don't have enough of it. So this is where you can solve really big problems and make a ton of money. Um, so yeah. Well, that's all I've got for today. Happy Saturday, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. God bless you all.